Okay. Hello, beautiful people of God. How are you all today? How are you? How are you? How are you? Please, if you're out there, I want you to come on in. Come on in. Let's start. Let's start. God bless you. Thank you so much. Please enter the chats. I want to see you. I want to see you in the chats. Let's talk. Let's talk. God bless you. God bless you. See, today we want to talk about marriage. We want to talk about marriage, and this issue of marriage in this platform. I want to make it a regular one. At least twice a week we should talk about this. I pray that God Almighty will help me, because on a serious note, we really need to discuss these issues, because I know that it will help someone. It will help someone. And that is why I am today starting this series again. I started last or I was doing it last year, if I'm not mistaken, and I took it for some time on my Facebook page, and I stopped. Like, if you go to my Facebook page, you will see some of those series that we took that time on marriage. And I am doing this because of the burden I have concerning marriages. Because what we saw in those years that make people like us, eager to get married, that make us to long for marriage, that make us to anticipate good homes. It's as if that thing is no longer there these days, and it is a challenge. If we don't tell ourselves the truth that this thing has become a challenge right now, then I wonder how we can get solution. You see, sorry, I want to share this thing out. I want to share it out. So, my people, I am talking today because by the grace of God, I've been in marriage for the past 2 decades now. And I've seen that it is workable, that it is possible. And that's why when I see people, having challenges in this area of marriage, it gives me a lot of concern. And I began to research and pray and ask God, why is it like that right now? Why is it this way? Why is it that people find it difficult to stay in marriage or stay married, both male and female? Why? Anytime I have opportunity to discuss this discuss this with people, and I'll begin to understand the fact that this thing we are talking about, I don't want to give it to demons. Yes, I don't want to, begin to magnify demons. I know that every bad thing has their roots from the devil. I know that one. But there are things that if I, handle it the way it should be handled, we will not give room to the devil. You see, so I am going to start talking about this based on the little experience and the knowledge I have in this issue, on this subject, marriage. I'll be sharing my own experience. I'll be sharing the experience of others, both the negative and the, positive side of it. We'll be asking questions with the sole aim of getting answer and even lasting solutions to as many that will, be able to have access to this, topic that we'll be dealing on this platform. Marriage is a very good thing. So don't allow anybody to put fear in you when it comes to the issue of marriage. Because I've actually seen people, succeed in marriage. And that is what gives me confidence to talk about it. Because if I have seen, if I have, do my research and find out, good afternoon, Lawrence, God bless you, and find out that there's nobody succeeding in it, then I will consider it as a complicated issue, as people have seen it. But for me, I don't see marriage as a complicated issue, but I will only consider it as a delicate issue. When something is complicated, it means that for me, it's almost not, easy to handle. That's my own definition. That's my own understanding of things being complicated, almost not easy to handle. But that is not marriage. Marriage, I say that marriage is delicate because you need a lot of carefulness. Just the way you can handle eggs with all carefulness so that they won't break. That's exactly how you handle marriage so that it won't break. That's my own definition. So, but these days, you discover that that carefulness that comes with handling of marriage, being married or staying married or getting married is not there anymore. Please share this for me, I beg. Share. Let people come and join us. Please put it on our platform. David, put it on our platform so that other people can come and join us. So please, I beg you that you should consider marriage as the best thing that can happen to any man, any woman, especially those that want to get married. Especially those that want to get married. Number one thing I will say here is that marriage is not for children. It's not for babies. When I say so, I don't mean your age, even though age is also very important, because scientifically maturity is very important. there are some certain tasks that a 20 years old child or someone can handle that will not be easy or possible for a 2-year-old child to handle. So in that area of maturity, I will also say that age is also important. But when you look at marriage properly, I want to say that age, physical age is important, but that maturity, mental maturity. And when I say maturity, I want to say all-round maturity is very, very important. And the question we're asking today is the major reasons why marriage do not last again. One of the things that makes marriage to not last anymore, one of the reasons why it's as if marriage is now a caricature, one of the reasons, very, very important for us to consider this. And because if we keep talking about it and teaching people, before you know it, all these things will fizzle out. The honor that is upon marriage will come back, will be restored, because now people will have the ability to do what is right. Yes, it is not for children, that's what we are saying. But we want to generalize it like by saying that if you are not matured, you should not even venture into it. This maturity I'm talking about now is not just physical maturity. I want to say all-round maturity. So it is very important to my people for us to begin to consider all these things right now, so that the plans of the enemy against homes, against marriage will be thwarted. Because the way and manner people are just getting married and scattering it today, and scattering it tomorrow, is so alarming that we cannot afford to keeping quiet. We must start to talk about it now, so that people can get the knowledge that they need to get married and stay married. That is the purpose of this live stream that we want to start right now. We want to start by teaching people what it means to get married and stay married. And we say one of the reasons why people don't stay married again is because of ignorance. I want to say it is because of ignorance. Excuse me, let me share this thing. So, like I was saying, I said one of the major reasons why people don't marry and stay married again is ignorance. How do I mean? We know that when we want to acquire a career, we must surely go and get informed about the career we want to pursue. And I want to say that that is how it was from the beginning. In the days of our forefathers, our fathers, our mothers, reaching our own generation, where marriage has turned to, experiment. In those days, no matter how, how old a girl child is, even a boy child is, at a very tender age, they are beginning to tutor that child on marriage, on how to marry and take care of your family as a man, how to marry, and stay in your husband's house, submit to your husband, support your husband, and build a lasting home. Yes, my information is important, but people don't want that information anymore. Instead, that thing, that there's one particular word that our parents, when they were talking to us in those days in the area of marriage, they don't even come and tell you if you see who love you or with who. No. The time this generation began to carry love and put in the forefront and make love as if it's the bedrock of marriage, as if that is all that is there to get married and stay married. That was, at that point, that was when we began to get it wrong. I am not saying that love is not good. Of course, for you to stay with someone, you must love the person to be able to stay. But when people has made it that is all that is there, I mean that someone that you don't know, you have not stayed with the person, you have not lived with the person, you don't really know that person's character. And the next thing they are doing, as soon as the person come close to you, all he starts singing to you is, I love you, I love you. Love this, love that. Even when your parents are talking to you, I am talking about these days, they are talking about love. All they are talking about is love. You love him, if you love him, if you love her, if you this and that, as if that is all that is there. You see, to know about marriage. But the real thing that they're supposed to do, they will leave it behind and begin to push love forward. Love. When I say love, I don't even understand how someone can just get up and see somebody get married to the person in the basis of love, on the basis of love that has not been tried. That's what I mean. So meaning that for marriage, for someone to get married, and stay married, my own is not that people are not getting married. People are getting married. But the challenge here is that 65% or even more of people that get married find it difficult to stay married. And as I began to do my research, began to pray, and began to counsel more people, I discovered that majority of these people do not know what marriage is all about, what is expected of them as married couple. They do not know. So if you ask me today, what are the major reasons? There are many, 1001 reasons that makes marriage not to work. But if you ask me sincerely from my heart, one of the reasons why people get married but they don't stay married these days is ignorance. Ignorance. And the only way for someone to, to work against ignorance is by acquiring knowledge. That is the antidote of ignorance. Acquire knowledge. I love you, I love you. That is all they think about. That's all. But trust me, that's I love you cannot hold water in the face of trial. You must be taught, you must be counseled. You know, when we talk about counseling is another form of teaching. That is my own definition of counseling. It's another form of teaching. You see, if you really want to get married and stay married, there's a way to do it. And that's number one way to do it is that you get informed of what marriage is all about. Some people think that marriage is just I love him and he loves me, that's all. And they will contract marriage just like that. But if you really want to find out what all these things we're talking about marriage is all about, you must have to submit yourself to counseling, to counselors. And we, the parents, we have to start on time, because counselors I'm talking about must not start from professional counselors. And if you ask me, your mom and your dad are professionals whether they go to school or not, when it comes to area of marriage, especially if their marriage worked. Even the ones that their marriage did not work, so long as they are parents, there are some things that they did wrong, of which they know that if they are genuine, they should be able to tell their children that this is why my marriage with your mom or my marriage with your dad did not work or had series of problems. It's because I did this, it's because I did that, or it's because I didn't do this, or because I didn't do that. By the time you begin to speak to that individual, your sons and your daughters, before you know it, they are fully aware of marriage, requirement of what is required of them to get married and stay married. You see? So, ignorance, if you ask me, is the major issue here. Ignorance is the major issue. I know that there are so many other things that will come, but you cannot expect anyone to practice what he do not know. That is the truth. That you find out. That's why you find out that in the military, before they will recruit people, or before they will, enlist people into army, they will pass them through series of lectures, both physical drilling and mental drilling, all those kind of, teachings that will prepare them for the, work ahead. They will pass them through all those things. And when those people are now informed, then now they can now make them a full-fledged army of their nations. Because now they didn't just carry an amateur and be put in the army, and they will get there and begin to misbehave. You'll see. So what are we saying today concerning the issue of marriage? Teaching is very important. When I say teaching, I didn't say that you must go and sit in front of a lecturer in your classroom and begin to no. In fact, I don't think there's any university that has that kind of classroom where they bring the students and begin to teach them how to behave in your marriage. This one, as it is now, it falls back to our parents. That is where it should begin. If you are a mom, you are a dad, you should start teaching your children, both girls and boys. Because I've even seen in a situation where a boy child is neglected. Nobody teaches that child as a boy child what what he should expect, what marriage is all about. Their parents do not have time to to share with them their own experience. No counseling, no teaching, nothing. You bring your child to this world, you nurse that child, and now when it's time to go to school, you pay their bills, and something tells you that that is all is there for you to offer that child. And meanwhile, from your heart, you are aspiring to be a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, a grandmom, a granddad. Whereas the children that will produce this grandmom, grandchildren, you neglect them from the onset. You never teach them anything that they need to know about your own experience, about what you did well that make your marriage to work, and what you didn't do well that make you to face some challenges in your marriage, either you are still with their father or not. This is the kind of education that every child, either boy or girl, needs to acquire. You see? Now, when you are talking to your children in the area of marriage, like in those days, I remember my father will be telling us, he said, look, this thing you did like this, you know you can't do this in your husband's house. My mother will ask you, is that how to behave in your father's house, in your husband's house? You don't do this to your husband. You don't serve your husband this way. You don't dress like this for your husband. You don't do this. That is the teaching we are talking about. But these days, when you present it now, some people will say, you are now making the girl child to look as if all her life depends on marriage. That's not what we are talking about. You are paying bills, sending those children to good schools. What stops you also, as you are preparing them for, their secular career, also prepare them to be a spouse of someone. Prepare them, both girl and boy. Not that you will neglect your boy child and face on the girl child. Now the boy, now we go to another girl child that those parents has prepared. And because you didn't prepare your own boy child, and that boy will grow up, become an adult that is not informed, an ignorant husband. That is the language I want to use. And that your boy child will now grow up to become an ignorant husband that do not know his left from his right. Or better still, is only expecting the marriage to work based on based on what the wife can do or cannot do, without taking responsibility that, you see, this thing called marriage, it's not going to be, it's not supposed to be one-sided. You have your own quota, I have my own quota. Please, if you're there, please, thumbs up for me, thumbs up, please, thumbs up. God bless you. So my people, you see, one of the major reasons, if you ask me to tell you, the major reasons why people get married today and they don't stay married is because of ignorance. And where there is ignorance, people tend to fill their mind with fantasies, unrealistic expectations. Why? Because they are ignorant of the original things that is expected of them to do when it comes to marriage. You see, you will see them with different kinds of visions, imaginations that is not realistic. And why are they filling themselves up with imaginations that are not realistic? Is because they were not informed It's because they are not informed. You did not teach your girl child. You didn't teach your boy child about marriage. You see, my children, it got to a time that if I talk, my son will say, mommy, wait now, let the time comes. Let the time come. Or my daughter will say, you never reach time. Or I say, whether you reach time or not, this is knowledge, acquire it now. Because no knowledge is waste. No knowledge is a waste at all. You see, most of the things that I know, I practice in my husband's house today, is one of those things. It is those things that my parents randomly will just, throw at me like that, and like, why do you behave this way? Is that how to behave? Can you behave like that? Or you don't behave like that in your husband's house? You see, that is what we're talking about. Ignorance is one of the major reasons why people will get married and they will not stay married. Ignorance. You see, that brings me to a Bible passage, Proverbs chapter 11 verse 14. And it says, where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. I think you people are hearing what I'm saying. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. But today, even in the church of God, you discover that people, because they don't want to sit down and go through this counsel, peradventure there are ones that your parents were omitted. Peradventure there are ones that, even despite all the books that you have read, you omitted, you didn't get it. During the course of counseling, you can get it. But you discover that people are so much in a hurry that they find it difficult to sit down and get this counsel. I think you are hearing what we are saying. So if you ask me, I will truly tell you that the major reasons why people get married today, they scatter tomorrow, is because of ignorance of what marriage is all about. That is the truth. It is because of ignorance. I can say that over and over again. And I'm saying it because of what I have seen through the course of counseling and also my own life experience. That is the truth. Ignorance. Ignorance. And people are so, so eager to contract this marriage anyhow and anyhow. And when anything happens, they will be apportioning blame. Either they blame their mother-in-law, or they blame their husband, or blame their wives. You see, whereas the major issue here is that you don't know how to carry your leg. You don't know how to carry yourself. You don't know. You are just behaving anyhow as a husband. You are just behaving anyhow as a wife. Yes, ma'am. Most couples don't go through the discussion they should be having during counseling. That is the truth. Even some don't go through counseling at all. It's after they have contracted whatever they amalgamate themselves together, join themselves anyhow, and they will start having challenges. And then that's when they will now begin to look for counselors, look for pastors, look for, that's when some of them will now bring in their parents that have, failed in teaching them, or they taught them, they refused to practice what they taught them. You see. So, ignorance is a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. I will stop this one here now, and I will come back. And when I come back, I will continue in this area of ignorance. But note that one of the reasons why people get married and they don't stay in marriage or stay married is because of ignorance. Just note that. It's ignorance that makes people to get married today, and before you know it, they scatter the marriage. And they are scattering the marriage because they don't know. Good afternoon. God bless you, Norma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. So, and they don't know that you cannot practice what you don't know. That is the truth. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, Norma. If you don't know about marriage, marriage is just like any other career. It's like, if you don't know it, you don't know it. That's the truth. If you don't know about marriage, honestly, you don't know about it. And when you enter ignorantly like that, whether you know it or not, that person will have challenges. Because when the issues that require the knowledge about that situation that person failed to acquire before he gets married arises, he will not know how to handle it. And before you know it, that fellow will begin to commit blunder left, right, and center. And they say, oh, they've scattered their marriage. The marriage is not working. Many a times, it's not because the marriage is not working. It's just because people refuse to acquire knowledge about this marriage before they get into marriage. So if you ask me, I will tell you that one of the major reasons why marriage is not working today is ignorance. People contracted it ignorantly. Ignorantly. And they, with hope that, with love. No. In those days, our parents, do they know what is love? Who is teaching them what is love? But over the time, as they married, because they are already loaded, because that is the time when parents, mothers especially, even fathers, will sit their children down and teach them what is expected of them in their husband's house. As a young man, they will take you through what you expected of you as a young man, as a husband. They will be teaching you. They will be throwing words at you. They will be, psyching you. They will give you opportunities to practice some things in your father's house. Even as a young man, like I told someone those days, they will from a farmer's family. From time to time, they will give you your own portion of farmland to go and farm. Nurture that farmland. And your father will be telling you that that is what it takes to be a man. Meaning that you have to be hardworking. You have to be able to provide for your family. As you are working in that farm, though you are schooling, but when you have holidays, they will make you to take some crops, grow it to maturity, to harvest. And while they are doing that, they are inculcating responsibility in you. They are inculcating responsibility in you. But what do we have today? Now, even boys that is not even responsible for themselves, and they will raise up their hand, Mom, Dad, I have seen who I want to marry. I want to get married. There's no way that person that do not have, you did not inculcate in your boy child, sense of responsibility. There's no way that boy child can grow to become a good husband. It's not possible. I want you to quote me anywhere. Please send this video to people. Let them hear that ignorance is not witches and wizards. It is not. In those days of our parents, were there not witches and wizards? Were there not witches and wizards? Because these days now, if anything happens to anybody's marriage, they won't look inward to find out what they did wrong or what they did not do. Please, thumbs up for me. Thumbs up. God bless you. They can't find out what they didn't do well. What is that thing that I did not do well that made this marriage, that made me to be having this kind of problem I'm having with my spouse? They won't. Instead, they will be apportioning blame because they were not inculcated the their parents did not inculcate in them the what I call the sense of responsibility. That whatever that happens around you, take responsible. Take responsible. And if anyone can take responsible of whatever that is happening, I'm telling you, that person will be able to see the truth, the clearer picture of the situation. And the technical know-how will be handed over to that person. That is the truth. Meaning that as soon as you are able to detect that, okay, this is what I said that. I remember that I now see that anytime I use this kind of language on my husband or my wife, and she will react this way, or that this, and because you know it, it will only be a wicked person that will keep on doing that thing that you have discovered that when you do it, your husband will be angry, or when you do it, your wife will be angry. It's only a wicked heart. But if it's someone that really meant that marriage, meant to marry and stay married, when he discovered that, oh, this is the reason, this is what I did that make my husband to always be angry. Honestly, even you don't need any preacher to tell the person, you have to suspend that, you have to stop. You don't need anybody to coerce you and say, oh, this my wife is always angry, or not responding this way, or is not responding to me, or behaving in this manner. I discover now this is that thing that I normally do, that you will find out that willingly, because they found it out themselves, because they have the sense of responsibility. Let me find out, let me search myself and find out where I am getting it wrong. What is happening to my home? What is happening to my marriage? What is happening to my children? Until a man, when I mean a man, I mean both man and women. Until a man have that sense of responsibility, honestly, he will not get it right in marriage. Instead, he will be apportioning blame, calling witches and wizards. I ask questions. Does it mean that in those days, where our parents will get married and they will stay married, even some of them will stay in their family house, even if they have their own personal, thank you, Norma, I love this teaching. God bless you, Norma, please, thank you. Share it for me, okay? So, even if when they are living, when they have built their own house, they were meant to build around their father's house, very close to their father. I mean the men. And they will bring their own wife, and they will be together in his house, very close to the family house, where even the parents, the mother-in-law, the father, all of them are there. Yet you see them staying in harmony. Why? Because both parties were informed. Both parties were trained. Both parties were, they were equipped. They were empowered, because knowledge is power. You can't practice what you don't know. In everything that you don't know, in anything you don't know, you are weak about that issue. So even if witches and wizards comes in, it's because of ignorance. That's why you open door to to whatever forces that is, scattering your home or your marriage. So today, I've just come to establish the fact that one of the major reasons why marriages do not work anymore for people is because of ignorance. It's because of ignorance. So, thank you so much, Norma. So, if you want to become a medical doctor, what do? You go to school. And what do you go to school to do? To be equipped, to be informed, to become a medical doctor. Is that not so? Yes. That is the truth. Amazing grace. Yes, ma'am. Yes. You go to school to acquire knowledge, to get the information, the technical know-how of becoming a medical doctor. If you want to become a lawyer, the same thing. You want to become a nurse, the same thing. You want to become, even to become a pastor, the same thing. The same thing. You go and acquire knowledge. Let's assume that it is your talent, it is your gift to become a nurse from your mother's womb. Yet you need information. You need information. Look at what the Bible says. In the book of Proverbs chapter 11. Do you see what the Bible said there? Where there is no counsel, the people fall. And in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. There is safety. You don't know anything about marriage. All you know is that he loves me, I love him. Is that all? You don't know what is expected of you as a husband. You don't know what is expected of you as a wife. That's all. All you base your choice making is that she's fine. He has big bum bum. He has a big breast. He has a clinical. Even that someone can cook. Is that a criteria? That shouldn't be the major criteria. There are so many other things that one need to know in order to become a wife, successful wife, and a successful husband. There are so many things. And if you neglect it, there are so many things to know. And if anybody neglects it, on a serious note, that fellow will have a challenge. That is what we are discussing today. Ignorance is one of the major reasons where people don't stay married. You see someone that wants to marry you, two of you have agreed to marry. That is okay, that is good. But what do you think that marriage entails? What? Go and get information. Just like you get information to become a doctor, you get information to become a teacher, you get information to become a tailor, you get information to become a hairdresser, a barber. That is exactly how it is expected of anybody that want to enter into marriage. Get informed. Get informed. Get informed. Please, thumbs up for me. Thumbs up. God bless you. Thumbs up. God bless you. Like the stream. Like the stream. God bless you. Thank you so much. So, my people, you see, many a times it is not witches and wizards. Trust me, many a times it is not witches and wizards. It is just that we as a people, we have dropped that value of inculcating the right values that can make your girl child a good wife and your boy child a good husband, like in those days of our fathers, in those days of our mothers. They've left those things now and they are pursuing a career. Take your child into London, take them to UK, take them to America, take your child to Australia, dispatch them when they are much younger, when they, and when you throw them there, just be pumping money to them, pay their bills, and don't ask about their welfare, how they are growing, if they are growing in totality. There's what is called total child. You just face their academics. Morally, you don't care. Spiritually, it's on the zero level. Nothing. And you think that child that you bring up in that way will make a good husband? See, this is not, you see, marriage is not magic. It's not a matter of abracadabra. No. It is garbage in, garbage out. What you give to it is what it will produce for you. And if you don't have the good thing to give to it, whatever you give, either negative or positive, will still come back to you. Now, for you as a mother, for you as a child, as a father that have children, that you expect to get married tomorrow, to stay married tomorrow. You have to start from the onset. Start from when they are with you. Teach them. Talk to them. Give them proverbs that, psych their IQ to find out who the ability of your children. When it comes to the issue of marriage, people contract this ignorantly. And the Church of God tried as much as they can. I know many churches that have the department of marriage counselors. No, many people don't want to sit down. They don't want to learn. They don't want to understand this thing called marriage. They don't. And at the end of the day, what they go there to do is trial and error. And when they try, they begin to struggle. When they struggle, they tire. And before you know it, everybody will carry a bag and their baggages and scatter the thing. That is not the plan of God. Thank you, Lawrence. I totally understand you, ma. Thank you. Please, you people should share this. Let people understand the fact that you want to get married, you want to stay married, not just staying. Because if you do the right thing, you will be satisfied, you will be fulfilled. If you practice what is expected of you to practice in your home, in your marriage, you will be fulfilled. Like I have said it, nobody's happiness is in the hand of anybody. Say, I want to marry, make my wife give me happy. You are just deceiving yourself. The happiness that you desire in your home is in your hand. And that is based on how you are able to implement the knowledge you have about marriage. That will give you the satisfaction because you will automatically begin to get positive results from your spouse. And that will give you satisfaction. That will give you joy. That will give you happiness. It will give you peace. But when you say, hey, what are they teaching us? What are they going to teach? All these pastors, all these churches, they want to waste our time. I love her. She loves me. That is all that matters. Hey, you are making mistake, yo. You are making mistake. And you parents, you want your children to get married tomorrow, both male and female, stay married and stay happy and fulfilled in their marriage. Please, I beg you, start teaching them when they are with you. Start teaching them when they are with you. Not when they are married now. Every day you are sitting around table, judging case, judging issue. That is not necessary. It's not necessary if you do your job. That is what they call adult education. The Bible says that you should train up your child in the way he should go. And when that child grows, he will not depart from it. Start when they are with you. Not when they are already married together, they don't join themselves together. And now you are every day they are calling on you. Hey, mommy, oh, hey, daddy, oh, hey, this is my wife. This is my husband. It's not necessary. If you do it well, it is not necessary. If you acquire knowledge, it is not necessary. Because that knowledge you acquire will also open you up to how to handle any conflict if peradventure anyone arise in the nearest future. That is the truth. You see, Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 said it. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. You see, Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no counsel, the people fall. But where there is counsel, the people will dwell in safety. That is the truth. So, my people, I just want to drop it here for now. And I'm going to come back. Please do me well to thumbs up this stream, share it, and let people get it. And we will come back possibly tomorrow. And God Almighty will bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to say bye-bye for now. Please remain blessed.